Okay, let's have a look at the accordion block and what it can do. I've come into the page, pressed add a section, and I've come to here for now. But I could have then pressed add block and then gone and found my accordion. So exactly the same thing. In terms of what we can do, double click on here, then it gives you this functionality to then drag and reorder things, or just let's say get rid. So let's do something like this just to make it a little bit easier to go and view. So we can do this sort of thing. Then we could come in and add our content. So you could then start to style some of your content, whether that is using some of the controls here, or for example, if you wanted to then do bullet points, just a quick dash and a space, and then there's a quicker way of getting your bullet list. If I want to keep going, I just press delete to just back this up and then do that. And you can still do the same like tabs and then holding, let's say, shift and tab to be able to get it in and out. So you can do that as well as then making the content bold, italics, underline, etc. So you've got this available to you, and then obviously just duplicating or getting rid. Then we talked about dragging and reordering things. Again, you can just see this straight on the page. And then let's come into design. So the text size is what we're seeing here. So we can then adjust this accordingly. We can then adjust the description size and change it. But what you also see is that this text itself is only going a certain width. So if you want to make this go full width, here in the description, if you then just increase that, you're then gaining the maximum space available to you. Personally, I just think that looks better. So making that sit at 100 is almost a no-brainer. So you've got that, but you might choose to put this in paragraph 2 size. So we've got that in there. Then expanding the first item, you could have this expanded and then the user knows, oh, okay, I can click into this and this is what that action goes and does. Allowing multiple items to be open at any one time. So again, I could have all 3 open, reading everything, or toggle this off and then only one at a time is open. Just depends how you want the user to interact with the content. The dividers are these lines in between. So let's just bring that up again. The dividers, I could have them all off. Then the last one and the top one, obviously they're out of shot, but there we go. You can then see that's what that is doing. So for this, let's just keep them on. Then in terms of the thickness of it, so you can do this sort of thing, and then obviously adjusting the color accordingly. That opacity is meaning that it's making it slightly lighter. So even though this is this full black, then it's just dialing it out and it's just making it slightly lighter on that. So there is that. The icon over here currently is a plus, but you could turn it into an arrow and then it flips the other way should you have this in open. The size of the icon, again, looking at that, the thickness of it, there we go. The placement, so whether it's on the right-hand side or move it to the left, it depends as to what content you've got in here. So personally, if I had this numbered list, then I'd put my icons over on this side. But if I didn't have it numbered, then I might choose to place it on the left side. It's all relative to what's in there. Then the row padding, how much padding is between this. So again, some things might look better than others, also based on the text size as well. Again, if you want to just dial it in even more, then you can click here and then you can just adjust and move these accordingly. Giving it a background. Again, the background is relative to the section theme that is in. Or if you want to, you can then come in and override it and be able to do this. Let's just pick up the final bits. So putting a corner radius on. So again, this is related to the background. So we could then have that in there, if you can see the curly corners. So you've got that there. Then the amount of padding that you have available, and then the different blend and blur mode in here. So that is the accordions. You could do a whole heap of different things with it, and it is super useful.